Welcome to Liquid Carnage. I'm Jason.
Hey, I'm Scott.
And happy to be here today talking with you, buddy.
Hey, man, it's always a pleasure to record with you.
Every week, it seems like we just get more and more fun. We get more and more followers. We have a lot of people listening to us. It's exciting.
Well, I think half the fun for us is we sit there and we try to figure out topics to talk about on here because we don't want to just ramble on about nothing.
Well, and sometimes some of our topics are serious. Sometimes our topics are sometimes just joking or sitting at a bar doing what we do love to do.
And absolutely. And sometimes we actually talk about nothing when we mean to have a very valid point of what our conversation is. But, I'm really enjoying finding our stride here on Liquid Carnage.
And I think that some of the comments I've seen on Podbean and some of the reviews I've seen on iTunes sounds like that the people who listen are also enjoying it. So thank you very much. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for not being sick of us yet. We're only...
We're only in week 7 or 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever.
Whenever we release this episode, we've only just begun. How's that song?
We've only just begun to live. Wow,
Ooh.
The Carpenter. I was the Carpenter, though, not the Carpenters.
I don't care what time of day it is. Way too early for you to sing like that.
I went to a movie this weekend and I was sitting in line, and the line was long, so maybe about 10, 15 minutes we're sitting in line, and the couple in front of us went up to the line to buy their tickets and buy their food. And we've been waiting for 15 minutes now. This is important points to this story. And we're sitting there, and once they get up to the line, they do this. We'd like to have 2 tickets to this movie. And, Bill, what do you want to drink? What do you want to eat, Bill? And they spend another 2 minutes discussing what they want to eat, what they want to drink. And I'm thinking, you've had 15 minutes,
if you're standing in line, listen, if I'm getting in line and I'm going to order
now
food.
You're not doing it.
If I'm getting in line and I'm going to order food, I know what I want by the time I get there.
And this is it's like having to figure out on an airplane how to put the seatbelt together. If you don't know how to put a seatbelt together now, then you're never going to know. Same thing. If you've been to a movie and you don't know what you want, then
that's so true.
Pet peeve, dude. You sit in line for 15 minutes, know what you want to get so that you can keep the line moving.
Oh, God, that annoys me so much.
It got me thinking, I want to talk about pet peeves, man.
You want to talk?
I want to talk about pet peeves.
You want to kick pet peeves around? That is fine with me.
I was so torqued, and the thing about it that turked me off so much was that you had no respect for the people in line behind you when you say, "Oh, Bill, what do you want? Oh, I don't know what I want, Johnny. Oh, hee."
Do you think that's a lack of self-awareness? I mean, what do you think? Or are they just so happy in their own little world they don't really understand that they're...
At that point, I was so pissed that I was like, just utter stupidity.
No,
Darwinism kind of thing.
Were you angry or are you hangry?
I was just more... I don't like waiting in line. That's a pet peeve of mine. He was waiting in line for a movie anyways. But it was more of just a lack of respect of other people's time that... you get up there and you don't know what you want, and it's just a lack of respect to someone else's time.
I totally get that.
So I was pissed, and it got me thinking, this would be a great thing to talk to Scotty about, because Scotty is
the king of anger. Constantly just angry about everything.
Yeah. So if you go to @LiquidCarnage on Facebook or Twitter, we'd love to hear some of your favorite pet peeves.
I don't think you call them I don't think you call them favorite pet peeves. I think I want to hear about your biggest pet peeve. Like, what pisses you off?
Oh man. Well,
is it 2 guys on internet radio just talking about nothing?
No, that is what soothes my soul, man.
Me too.
What was one of the comments that we were the chicken nuggets of the chicken nuggets of I can't remember what the comment was, but basically we're the chicken nuggets of podcasts.
And that's funny. That is hilarious that we are the pressed meat deep fried of podcasts.
Well, one of our reviews said that we were the Seinfeld of the podcast of about nothing. So
that's true, and maybe it works, nice. And that's really great.
Yeah. One of my biggest pet peeves too is you're driving on a congested highway, and there's a lane that's going to be ending that everyone has to merge over, and some jackass decides that he's going to just drive in the lane that's going to end all the way to the front and cut in front of someone.
I will openly admit I have done that. But if I think it's going to be close, I will move over before that lane ends. On that same note, though, one of my biggest pet peeves: slow drivers in the left-hand lane. I get so aggravated. My dad was a highway cop growing up, so we learned to drive by highway. So my brother and I are both fairly aggressive drivers.
Okay.
And I tend to go 5 to 10 over the speed limit. I tend to stay in the left. I know the left lane is just for passing, but if I'm going fast enough, man, I'll just go. And I'm sure that pisses people off too. But if you're going to be in that left lane and you're going to go the speed limit and there's multiple lanes, pisses me off. Go to the far right lane.
Well, yeah, or when you see two trucks going up a hill and they don't pass each other, they just keep driving up a hill. Mm-hmm. It's like, hey, jackass, get over. Oh, see, these are unspoken driving rules. There's probably a whole show on just driving pet peeves that knocks me out of the park. That I don't like that. But the pet peeve itself is an age-old custom, I'm sure, that started back in the early mid-century. Mm-hmm. That someone was, doing something, sharpening their blade with a dull rock, and they said, "Man, I don't like how Johann sharpens his blade with a dull rock, and I'm gonna."
He's doing it wrong. Let me show you how to do it.
Yeah, let me show you how to do it.
I hate the way you do this. Absolutely.
You're filleting that rabbit totally wrong, man.
So do you think that these pet peeves, obviously there's a lot of pet peeves in relationships.
Don't even get me started.
I am going to go out on a limb and say that you annoy your girlfriend in probably some very random ways.
I'm a loving, good boyfriend. That would be perfect.
I'm sure you are. I mean, I can't see how you would be flawed, but I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking here.
If I was imperfect, which I'm not admitting that I am.
If you were flawed, what do you think some of your girlfriend's biggest pet peeves would be about you?
Oh, okay. I have a nasty habit of, in a public place, just screaming or singing out loud. Like really loud to the top of my lungs.
Okay.
Okay,
that's true. That's very true.
And that's one of your pet peeves about me too. Is that I love a parade, and I'll be sitting at the Starbucks, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
And I don't mind sometimes, but hey, man, if you're not expecting it or it's just completely out of nowhere, and you're in a very serious conversation, I don't need to hear about your love of parades. I want to finish our political talk,
She has a pet peeve a pet peeve of hers too about me is when I get kind of ticked at her, I'll say, "Yes, dear, whatever you say, dear." Yeah. And I'm bad about that. I don't know why I do that, but it's...
I used to be in a relationship where I had to learn not to say certain words. Like, it would upset her if I said words like fine or dear or whatever. So fine. Whenever we got in a fight, man, it was
yes,
fine.
Dear.
Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Fine. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, dear. Oh my God.
I think that might get most women. I think so too. They don't like to be placated, or they don't like to be.
And I don't blame them. I don't like to be placated either. But if you have to get a jab in somewhere, and it's going to upset them. I mean, but that's human nature.
Yeah. What would you say is a pet peeve that you have about me?
About you?
Yeah.
Oh,
friend,
buddy,
pal.
So this is where Liquid Carnage ends. We had a good run.
We had a good run for a few weeks.
I'll be honest, man. I don't really have a lot of pet peeves about my friends.
Oh, good.
I mean, if they tick me off, I just walk away. And the fact that I'm able to sit here week after week and do podcasts with you, you haven't pissed me off that much.
True. Maybe that's the good thing about friendship is that with a friend. Well, no, because we have friends that we have pet peeves about too.
Oh yeah.
We have that too, so I guess it's not a out of the way deal. So why do you think they call it a pet peeve?
I don't know. It's
because that's kind of a weird name to call something that really frustrates you.
I really remember very vividly back in the day, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Nintendo game, like the original Nintendo game. And they had like little bios of all the Ninja Turtles on there, and one of them was what their pet peeve was. And I was maybe 8 or 9 when that came out, and I remember reading it and not knowing what a pet peeve was. And I asked my dad one day on the way to church. I said, "Dad, what's a pet peeve?" And he looked at me and goes, "Boys that won't clean their bedrooms, boys that won't do their chores."
Oh, okay.
And he was very, as a matter of fact, telling me what his pet peeves were.
Clean your room, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I told you to clean your room, clean your freaking room, and you're not doing it. Is a pet peeve because it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
And I get that. And without telling me what it was, he told me what it was.
My dad used to have a thing where he would make popcorn, microwave popcorn, and he hated sharing his popcorn. So, like, if he made some popcorn, say, "Hey, can I have a little bit, Dad?" No, just make your own bag. So that was one of his pet peeves about me is, hey, if I make popcorn, I'm not sharing it. I'm eating it myself. And it's like, wow. Thanks, Dad.
In that same vein, that is one of mine. People taking food off my plate.
Yeah.
I mean, I am very, I don't want to say territorial, but it's my food, man. It takes a lot of, I'm a big guy. It takes a lot of food to fuel my body. Don't take my French fry. I don't care if it's a fry because you just want to sample it. No. Don't.
No, yeah. Especially, or like, "Oh, can I try some of your food?"
No.
You can't.
You could have got the same thing.
You know, sometimes Noreen has a thing that I just like drives me nuts. Every time someone calls, every time someone texts, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
What do they want? What do they? It's like, look. If they wanted to talk to you, they would have called you. They don't want to talk to you. They want to talk to me.
They made it a group text, absolutely.
Oh, that's a pet peeve of mine too.
I know.
I've got a group of friends that you might know.
I'm very guilty.
And,
I'm one of these people.
They will start a text with, "Hey, what is everyone doing tonight?" And then for 45 minutes, Jack Wagons will be sending texts back and forth about how someone did their mother, and then they'll say, "Oh, hey, my mother's got paint on her face," and it go into this just long 45-minute text tirade that I just like, bing, 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 your phone is going off.
First off, if your mom joke is right there, you have to take it. It's almost like law at this point.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
And we have some friends that are very easy to roast. And I'll be honest, I have my moments where I leave myself out there, and you have to take advantage of that for everybody to see.
I know, but sometimes you're just like, dudes, I'm trying to work here. I'm trying to work. Or what do you think about the inappropriate wrong number at 4:00 in the morning? You ever had that?
Oh, man.
Someone called you at 4:00 in the morning. You think your mom just died. Your dad just died. You pick up the phone. Hey, is John there? There's no John here.
Well, first off,
wrong number.
First off, I don't pick up my phone at 4 a.m. if I don't recognize the number.
Oh, okay.
Like I understand there are very few numbers that I don't have programmed in there.
True.
That I will pick up, but I won't answer a call randomly at 4 a.m. Mostly because you don't want to talk to me at 4 a.m. if you wake me up. That being said, I've had my biggest pet peeve are telemarketers. I hate when they call, and I put myself on that list, but they've got this new game now, the telemarketers do, where they call, and they use your local number, because they can generate local numbers, so it's it's a 928 number, so it's from the area, and it'll be quiet for a second, they say, oh, you can hear me? Okay, well, hey, this is so-and-so from such and such market, and
they do, you're right.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, have you ever just want to take like 5 or 10 or 15 minutes and play with those people?
I used to every week in college. When I was in college, they would call our landline, because that's how old I am. When I went to college, I had a landline, not a cell phone, and I had a card for long distance minutes. So
I remember those. Oh my goodness, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you buy a 300-minute long distance minute card, and you put the code in. Wow, you're dating us, buddy.
All right,
yeah.
Right.
Some of the people out there probably have heard that or done that too.
So they would every night at 6 o'clock at dinner time, quote unquote dinner time. We were in college. We were just sitting there watching TV. They would call and they'd try to sell us something. So finally, my roommate and I would see who could tell the best story to these people. So I would get this telemarketer on the phone, or he'd call, and I would give him this story about how I was down and out, and my roommate found me and brought me to church and helped me find salvation, and got me from being this homeless schmuck to going to school and getting my life on the right track. And I would just sell this guy and all this. It's like, so, hey, man, can I spend a few minutes to talk to you about, whatever, insert religion here? And I'd have that guy clamoring to get off the phone.
I remember one time, I used to like doing it when the telemarketers would call. They'd be reading their script because none of them did it and memorized it. And then I would say, hey, could you tell me that part about a couple sentences ago? And
What?
And they would get thrown off, and they just start reading it over again.
Yeah.
Or do this too, if you want to. I love doing this too. Oh yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Oh, that sounds like wonderful. And then, hey, do you want to buy? Oh, I'm not the decision maker of the family.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait. Oh, cool. I just need your credit card. No, I don't have one of those. You have to talk to my wife.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh, you want me to buy something? Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought we were just talking about great vacation packages.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. I have a hard time dealing with those.
Telemarketers are pretty bad. If you're a telemarketer out there, man, there's got to be a better way to make a living, I would think. There's got to be a better way to make a living.
So what would you say is one of your biggest pet peeves?
Well, let's see. I don't like the driver on the side of the road. I just don't like people in general who break the rules. I like for example, we were driving on the street. For example, if there's a no walk on a crosswalk, don't walk.
You rebel.
No, I don't walk. No.
What if there's no cars coming either way? None. Zero. Zilch.
Hey, you never know. You never know when some cop might come by and jaywalk you. You never know when someone comes out of nowhere and runs over. But
it's 2017. If
I know.
A cop writes you for jaywalking?
If it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm stumbling home from a bar, yeah, I'll probably cross. But we were driving.
Are you going to bust out in song when you're coming across?
Yeah, I know. Like, coming into America, I am going to live in America. Ooh, that was a reference to the oh, damn it, now I'm missing out on the reference. Shoot. Anyways, it was a Broadway musical with the Jets and the Sharks.
West Side Story?
West Side Story, yeah. But no, it's a green. We have a green, and this jackass walks into the crosswalk. He can't wait. He's got to do it right now. Do you think he acknowledges? Do you think he says sorry? No. He just walks. Slow, too. That's another pet peeve. If you're in a crosswalk, put some pep in your step, man. When I'm trying to turn and you just are like meandering around, you know, maybe the pet peeve in general is when other people don't respect other people's time.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just utter disrespect of someone else's time.
I hate that.
That pisses me off. Like, come on. You know,
wake up. I have some serious issues with that too, where it's, you know how much time we have. You knew what the purpose of this conversation was going to be, and you're dicking around with it. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah. Or people who delay. Mm-hmm. Like, we get this at work all the time. This is a pet peeve of mine. We're in a meeting. We need to make a decision on this. Oh, well, we need to talk to this person and this person first before we can make a decision. Okay, let's come back in a week. Okay, so we come back in a week. Oh, well, we talked to them, but, you know, they have so many questions about what needs to be done. They're not there at the meeting to ask these questions. Yeah. So
what do we have to do to expedite these questions?
Once again, you're wasting my time. My time. That's a pet peeve.
Being patronized. I hate being patronized.
Oh, like, give me an example. What does that mean?
Oh, man. Like, when someone's just, like, they know they're annoying you with just stupid questions, or they're just treating you like I want to say treating you like
a child?
Like a child, but, you know, just, I guess that's easy.
Or I guess, when they talk to you like, oh, well, you probably don't know what it's like to be a parent, so you probably don't really have an input on that.
Exactly.
Look, bitch. I was a child once, okay? Yeah. I know what it's like to be a child of a parent, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah. We've all been there at some point on some level, so please, if you're going to bitch about it, expect to hear an opinion one way or the other, you know?
Yeah.
You know, but that's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. If you're gonna patronize me, I'm gonna patronize you right back. And that's kind of where the yes dears and the fines come from with me, because I can tell when someone's talking down to me, and I have no problem doing the same thing right back to them.
Oh yeah. I have a pet peeve of bad customer service too.
Do you?
Like when someone gives me an explanation of why something is not working the way it's supposed to, and it just totally sounds illegitimate. Like, really, do I look stupid to you? Do you think that what you're telling me is that?
You have that same conversation with me every week when you ask what my topic is, and I don't know yet.
No, so you usually know, and I have to give you credit. Sometimes, I'm a little bit more organized, and I like a little bit more structure to a conversation. I have heard reviews that sounds a little bit more like interrogation or questioning.
People do want to punch you in the throat. For the record.
They do want to punch me in the
throat.
throat.
I do want to point out the reviews. They want to punch you in the throat, and I have a smooth, velvety voice.
Yeah, we have a velvety voice, Kern. And punched in the throat, Edgeworth. Okay, that's fair. You know what? Emotional attachment is still emotional attachment.
Exactly. They love to hate you, so that's great, man. You have listeners for life with that.
But don't you find that sometimes the explanations on customer service are so just out of left field, like they don't even make sense? And I hate when people can't take care of a customer service request. Like, if you get erroneously charged for something. Mm-hmm. Oh, I may have to go talk to my manager about that.
DirecTV is notorious for that.
Oh, they can't solve a problem?
Yeah, if you ask one person to do 2 jobs, you have to get transferred.
Yeah.
I'll give you an example.
Good. Okay, do.
I when I moved last year, I cut off my TV. It's like I didn't need it. I'm gonna
find myself.
I'm gonna find myself. That lasted about 3 weeks. And I realized
as the wall started talking to you, oh shit!
It was January. It was dark. It's 5:00. It was cold, and I was bored. So, DirecTV called one day and gave me this smoking deal, like $50 a month for the first year, and free direct ticket for the NFL and all this.
Oh, nice! Wow.
So I couldn't say no.
Good package.
So I came running back to him, but if you don't turn off the NFL direct ticket by the next season, they'll automatically charge you for it. It's not we'll give it to you for free. We'll turn it on, so we'll get you next year when you've forgotten about it. So I've had this in the back of my head, and I called them right before I knew the billing was going to start. I said, hey, man, I just need to cancel. Well, first off, you have to get to an operator. And if you can't get to a live person, that doesn't
press or say one.
What is your concern? I do not understand that concern. Say your concern again. I still don't understand your problem.
That's a pet peeve too.
My God,
I hate those.
I know usually when I'm doing this, I'm driving.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm using my Bluetooth because hands free.
Right.
And they want you to concentrate on the road, and I'm screaming.
Four.
Operator, and the person next to me at the stoplight just sees me screaming with no one else in the car, so I can imagine they think I'm some kind of lunatic. But I finally got through to an operator, to a live person. One, you can barely understand them, and it's not because it's outsourced. It's because they just have a bad connection. They're talking so fast and they're mumbling. And I tell the guy, it's like, hey, I need to cancel the NFL Direct ticket before it starts getting billed. They go, oh, okay, sir. Well, I can't help you with that, so I have to transfer you to the NFL Direct ticket department. Yeah. Like, this has taken me 10 minutes to get to you, but fine. As long as it's a direct connect, let's go. So he transfers me over. And I get this guy. And I just tell him, like, hey, man, I just need to cancel my direct ticket. And then the other pet peeve I have with this is they try to talk you out of it. They try to stop you.
Well, and
I get it.
Well, I get that. That's
their job.
service.
That's their job.
Right. Yeah, that's customer service.
But when I say I need to cancel it, and you say why, and I said, don't worry about it, just cancel it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Don't press the issue. And the guy just kept pressing. He goes, well, why? Don't you like football? It's like, I love football. Don't you want to watch every game? It's like, I do, but at a bar. Well, don't you think that the money you save at a bar would pay for this? But don't you think the people I meet at the bar would justify this?
Wow. Here's a book of the Book of Latter-day Saints for you too.
Oh my! I was like, you have one job. You are a part of the NFL Direct Ticket Retention Program. You have one job, and I get you're trying to do that job. You're not going to win that job today. Please cancel my effing subscription now.
Oh man,
I don't get, sir. I just don't get it. Like, I'm a Cardinal fan. I'm in Arizona. They're on every Sunday regardless.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Yeah, exactly.
If I want to watch the Jets lose, I'll go to a bar.
Yeah. If I have to even watch the Jets
If I even have to watch the Jets lose.
I don't even care.
I don't
if
even
I have
care.
to watch the Rams, I get them twice. They're both going to lose. They're both games.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
It's a good day. But yeah, that was my biggest pet peeve is just, So as we start talking about this, more and more I'm a very angry person, if you can tell, in some areas.
Well, sometimes this podcast is a way to get those feelings out.
It's been very
hopefully
cathartic.
It's something that gets people out of their listening on the car, or they're listening at home, if they're listening at work. When they start talking about these pet peeves, they can, start thinking of their own. They can hashtag at Liquid Carnage,
hashtag
pet peeves. We can do it all, and we can get these out so that we're not penting this up, because when you pent it up, then it's even worse. Then we're going to have some really bad things happening.
Since we're talking about social media, that's another pet peeve I have. People that hijack, like if you post something on social media, just like your group text, they hijack a separate conversation on the thread stream of comments, and you're getting notifications of like everything. It's like, shut up. All right, I get it. Why don't you go to private messenger at this point? You've reconnected with an old friend. That's great. Go to private
Bill,
message.
is that you?
Why, yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, I'm talking to you on the Liquid Carnage post.
Hey, did you try this recipe? And that's when one of us will step in and say, hey, Bill, I'm glad you guys got to meet. I'm glad you got to try the recipe, but please go to direct messenger. We have people that want to discuss things here, hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah, maybe something of importance.
If it's a slow comment day, then by all means, maybe we'll interject. Maybe we'll try the recipe out with you, Bill. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I hate people who are hypocritical, too. That's a pet peeve of mine. When someone says, oh, man, I hated, and with politics, you get it all the time. Like when Donald Trump was always talking about how much traveling that Obama did, recreational traveling, and how much golf he played, and then now he's done it more in 3 months than Obama did it in 6 years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a pet peeve of mine. Don't be hypocritical, man. Oh, yeah. If you're doing the same thing and you justify it, yet you're ragging on someone else for doing this exact same thing you're doing, that's a pet peeve of mine.
And I'll openly admit, I could be a hypocrite. Do as I say, not as I do in some areas.
Yeah, well, maybe.
We all are.
Yeah,
we all are.
I mean, how about this? You would definitely not rag on someone for going to Subway and then go to Subway. I mean, you just would.
No.
You're an idiot for going to Subway. I'll take a foot long with tuna
roast beef
or whatever.
No, I will promptly go to Jimmy John's at that point. And for the record, I prefer Jimmy John's over Subway now because they've got much better food.
Yeah.
And I don't come out smelling like a bread factory. That's another thing. Just some restaurant, wait services. It drives me nuts. If it's a busy restaurant, I get it. We're just trying to hold on at that point. You're just trying to survive, make sure everybody gets their food.
Right. I used to have a real bad pet peeve. My grandmother's boyfriend, and at the end of her life, my grandmother had a long-term partner. They'd been together 10 or 15 years, and he was notorious for ruining a punchline of a joke. So
Well,
you'd
like
go through
he
a
would,
joke.
he would say it or he would hack it up.
He would say it. So he would let you get through 2 minutes of telling the joke, and then he would scream out the punchline in front of you. I thought to myself, if it wasn't for my grandmother, you'd have been dead a lot sooner, pal, because that's a no-no.
Yeah.
That is a no-no. I don't care if you've heard the joke 1,200 times. Do not ruin the punchline for the joke teller.
I'm a very funny guy. Don't ruin my funniness.
Yeah,
funniness is how I get people to like me.
Hey, and sometimes some people aren't funny, but they have one joke
that's
that's
true.
their
You can't
like
take that away from
hallmark
them.
joke.
You cannot take
that away. And he used to do it every single time. Like he would wait for the punchline. He wouldn't say anything like "I've heard this one" or "Oh my gosh, that's so funny," and I'll let you tell it. No, he'd wait for you to get to the punchline, and then he would scream out the punchline.
Oh.
And everyone would be like looking at him like, "You mother trucker."
Oh God,
that was a
annoy
pet
the
peeve
shit
of
out
mine
me.
too. I hate that.
Oh yeah, that annoyed the shit out of me. I get annoyed very easily, and as I'm getting older,
Yeah.
I have a very short fuse for dumb people.
I have a feeling that as all of us get older, our pet peeve list gets longer and longer and longer.
Yeah. There's a running joke in my office at work that I'm the old guy that will stand out in his lawn, watering it every morning in his robe and boxers, yelling at the kids to get off my lawn. Because I get so aggravated, like these fidget spinner things. No fucking sense. And this makes no sense. They get hung up on some of these video games that they're playing these days. I'm just total lack of respect for adults. See, it's starting to come out just naturally.
I was gonna say, do you notice that that you now don't like the party next door that's got the loud music at 3 o'clock in the morning yet?
Yeah. And a part of me's pissed because they didn't invite me.
Well, that's a part of it too.
Yeah.
But I remember when I was in my 20s, if there was a loud party going to 5 o'clock in the morning, I didn't care. I just slept through it. Now, at 11 o'clock at night, I hear loud music, and those damn kids are playing loud music. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay, slow it down. Take it easy.
You turn that rock music off right now. You turn that Bruce Springsteen off.
I had a friend, my best friend in Denver. One time we were having a conversation. We're in our early 40s, and he was complaining about Obama is ruining retirement, and Social Security is going to be all jacked up. And I'm like, wow, what are you, 40 or 60, pal? What the hell, dude?
Like, do you get your AARP card at a certain point with this conversation?
I wonder if pet peeves just become a pet peeve because as we get older, we've seen them so many times that it's part of our pet. Maybe that's what the
I get
pet
easily
peeve
annoyed.
is.
Yeah, easily annoyed at a lot of things. Yeah, speaking of pets with pet peeves, like my dogs will just lick constantly, and it drives me nuts. Like, what are you doing? That same spot is like your nervous tick. Why are you lick that same spot, like on the couch every day or on the pillow?
Yeah,
and just leave it alone.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that our dog Ellie, she's one of these dogs that she must have been beaten as a little dog when we rescued her. So she used to piddle. Like every time you try to go pet her, if she doesn't come to you first, she'll piddle. Well, it's been 2.5 years now. I think you've lived a pretty good life. You've gained about 15 pounds.
Still piddles?
You still go to pet her. She still piddles. Like, that's a pet peeve. Maybe that's where it started. Is our pets drove us to drinking?
Maybe that's what it is. And I just think it's adorable that I just heard a grown man say piddle.
Urinate, piss, liquid defecation. What do you want? What do you want, buddy?
But
what
piddle.
do you want?
Excuse me. Let's hit the pause button. I have to go piddle real quick before we resume recording.
I hate when people mispronounce words too, or use words in the wrong context. Mm-hmm. And this is the worst part though. If I'm really thinking in my head, all of the pet peeves that we've discussed so far in this podcast,
we both got them.
I'm sure I've done.
Sure
I've done them. I'm sure that I've done them.
I can think back to early releases on this podcast where you've mispronounced something or said something
dude.
or said something out of context, and I've corrected you just like mid-story.
Oh,
and I know that irritates the shit out of people.
Charlize
Theron, Charlene Theron. Charlize number one. I'm glad you guys have the same birthday.
We have the same birthday, Charlize Theron or Charlene Theron.
Whatever you called her. I was like, come on, buddy. That was our summer movies podcast. You can download that now on iTunes and Podbean.
That was on iTunes and Podbean. You can check that.
Hashtag cheap pop.
Keep talking while I laugh.
I mean, it's just... And I'm notorious for that.
Charlize Theron. She's my favorite actress.
Yeah. That makes me laugh, man. It's just one of those like,
Sorry.
come on, man.
Okay, I'm back. Oh,
come
my
on,
gosh,
man.
that was funny.
And I don't think about what I'm doing until it's too late. I just like I say it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a lot of people's pet peeves that I don't think before I talk. Like I've said it and it's out there and I'm trying to make up for lost time.
You know, I also have a pet peeve too when someone paints themselves in a corner by arguing a point, and then they make the realization that they were wrong, and they won't
love that.
They won't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake." They like, I gotta keep fighting it. Yeah, but you just proved yourself wrong. I gotta keep fighting it. I don't know how to get out of this.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that too. Oh, that's a pet peeve of mine
I know
as
that
well.
all too well. I know that all too well.
Yeah. So the pet peeves, man. If you can think of any, pet peeves, at Liquid Carnage, go to Facebook, like us on at Liquid Carnage, Twitter at Liquid Carnage, hashtag pet peeves.
You can find us on Instagram too. You can leave comments on different pictures. We love the memes on Instagram, so if you want to share some memes and tag us in them.
We're actually even exploring YouTube too. If you want to just listen to us on YouTube, if that's an easier venue, social media for us, Liquid Carnage.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's one thing I'm really amazed about is, and I'm sure that's a lot of people's pet peeves in just today's world is the amount of social media out there and how everyone has to be placed. So everyone that has a podcast or a TV show or just some kind of form of media has to put it out there on all these different sites.
Think about it though. 15 years ago, how would we have promoted Liquid Carnage? We've had to put an article in the newspaper.
Well, 15 years ago, this wouldn't have been a thing because podcasts weren't a thing 15 years ago.
True. We would have been on the radio somewhere.
We might have been on at 2 a.m. on AM radio in Seligman, Arizona.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
And we're only going to be listened to by truckers and world enders.
But they would have been able to listen to your velvet voice, baby, and punch me in the throat.
They'd want to punch you in the throat, and it'd be hilarious.
You know, for those of you who want to punch me in the throat, I have a feeling too, and sometimes it hurts when someone steps all over it.
Yeah, I know it does. And at one point, you're going to realize that I don't care. I'm going to say what I want, and I'm going to do it.
Oh, man. Great podcast today. Boy, I enjoyed the pet peeves. And Charlene Theron, I'm thinking about you, girl.
Oh, absolutely.
Thinking about you, girl.
Absolutely. Always. She has a new movie, Atomic Blonde, coming out sometime this summer, so I'm sure we'll go see that for your birthday.
Looks like it might be action-packed. Okay. But, yeah, you know, we might have to have a podcast just on pet peeves of driving. Because, I mean, we start off with 4 or 5 just right, boom, 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 boom. We might just have to have one that's just road rage and pet peeves of driving because that all of us do it, all of us experience it, and all of us, things drive us nuts.
Yeah.
I don't understand how a woman can put makeup on driving 75 miles an hour. That's just like, I mean, that scares me.
It's no different than someone with a manual transmission texting, shifting, and eating a burrito at the same time. I mean, that takes talent.
And I'm sorry, if you're an 18-year-old cute girl, don't think you can just turn in front of me and cause me to almost crash and then just give me like a wave. Hey, sorry.
Yeah, the coy way pay attention.
Yeah, pay attention. I'd hate to end your life.
Or the car full of dudes.
And you know who you are. You know who you are. I'm looking for you, sister.
Well, if you're listening.
She's listening.
Why wouldn't she be listening?
Why wouldn't she be listening?
Why wouldn't she
be listening? So
I lost my whole train of thought with that one. That's
Sorry,
another
buddy.
pet peeve I have in myself is where I forget what I'm talking about mid-sentence. Maybe that's a sign of old age. Maybe that's a sign.
Hey, we are getting old.
Right?
But hey, man, my name's Jason.
I'm Scott.
Thanks for listening today. As always, if you're ever having trouble knowing what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Carnage.